Rugby with Huw Griffin.
Welcome back to the Huw Griffin on Rugby Podcast, only on Megaphone Rugby. I have to say that. That little bit about Megaphone Rugby is crucially important. Welcome back, Huw.
Hello, Inver. On the unusual time of a Tuesday for us. So we're all out of sync. I hope I don't forget all of the things that I know.
No, you won't forget. You don't know about that much, so I'm sure you'll remember that. So.
I'm sure.
No, that's me I'm talking about. I don't know much. I'm sorry, I got confused there a little bit. Listen, let's start with the new studio. I mean, that's quite an impressive layout there, like colors. I see lots of jerseys there behind you. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so this is my new setup here at home. Did it over the weekend. It's been a bank holiday here in the UK, so I spent my bank holiday weekend doing this. And as you can see, it's all different around me. It's the same room. This is the window that I normally am next to. You can see I've got the curtains closed because we're going to be going into winter soon in the UK, so I'm going to have this closed anyway. And then you've got behind me here is a Toulon flag. It's just out of focus because of the fancy portrait view that we've got, but it's just out of focus, Toulon flag. And then behind me, most importantly,
the wardrobe.
Not all the rugby jerseys, a very small percentage of my rugby jerseys. I've bought 2 more last week, but we've got. I'll show you, go from this side. There's a Toulon retro jersey on the very end with the red and black stripes. Then there's a current France international jersey. I guess they'll be bringing out a new one in not before too long. Then there's a Scarlets retro jersey by Castor that came out last season. Then there's last season's Scarlets away kit. And then this one, I'm not going to tell you about because I'm going to be wearing it on the show next week.
But it's red. It doesn't take
It's red.
A brain surgeon to figure out what that's going to be. But okay, we'll leave it for then. And talking about shirts, the one you're wearing this week, what is that?
So this week, Enver, you may need to put #ad in the blurb because I was sent this jersey for free by the Scarlets, by my team, the Scarlets. I offered to promote it on social media and on podcasts for them. And I said, if you send me a free jersey, I'll promote it for you. And they said, okay. And they sent me a jersey. So now I have to promote it. So go buy this jersey. This is this season's Scarlets jersey. It's by a new manufacturer, new to us, called VX3. And yeah, it harkens back to Scarlets jerseys of the past. This kind of, it's obviously mostly red, but then the white and then the blue stripe, which some people say make it look a bit like a rugby league jersey. These are historic colours for the Scarlets. These are actually, before we were called the Scarlets, our home kit was navy blue. So that's what this is referencing. So I like it very much, and I hope that everybody else does too.
So you're blatantly admitting that was a bribe that you're wearing there.
It wasn't. Yeah, but it's my team. I would have bought the jersey anyway if they didn't send me a free one.
Well, I'm a Bull supporter and I didn't get anything. I didn't even get a sock.
I am absolutely here to be bribed, by the way. I just want to head that off.
Yeah.
If anybody's thinking of bribing me, I do not want to discourage you in any way.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pass along a jersey. You'll do anything for it. Yeah. All right, talking about jerseys, we saw the launch of both Stormers and the Bulls kit. You talked about the retro kit for the Scarlets. I'm a Bulls supporter, and that Bulls jersey to me, retro kind of a look. I'm sorry, Edgar and Willem and everybody. It's an abomination, in my opinion. Last year's shirt was the best ever. I think, apart from the 2007 Super Rugby one. This year, I don't know. I don't know how long they took to design it. It looks like they, did it over lunch break or something. That's my opinion. What do you think?
Should we take a look at it? Are we doing Bulls first? I've got it loaded.
Yeah, do the Bulls first because they came out first. They're always leading, so they have to come out first.
Market leaders, as always. Let's have a look here. Okay. So, okay. So my thoughts. So I do like hoops on a jersey as a rule. So when I initially saw this, I thought, okay, it's new and it's interesting. I've said previously that Bulls jerseys are often just a big old slab of blue. And initially that was something that I wasn't that much of a fan of. So on paper, I should like this. And this is a bit like that golf polo that you got me with the kind of the navy collar, old-fashioned collar. So, always gets marks for that. And then the dark color around the sleeves as well. I didn't initially, when I first saw it, notice the kind of texture diamond kind of thing on it. Some people hammer teams for kind of having too many sponsors on the jerseys. I'm kind of like, do you want money or not? So I always forgive teams for having sponsors.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. What bothers me is the way it looks. And you talk about hoops. Which team has hoops in South Africa?
Well, this is
Stormers.
it. This is it. On paper, I should like this jersey a lot more. But it's not a Bulls jersey.
It's not a Bulls jersey. It looks like a soccer team's jersey. Yeah.
It's a very nice rugby jersey for any other team, but for the Bulls, for me, this isn't a Bulls jersey.
Oh, what's that little silver stripe or something at the bottom under the navy thing there? I mean, really? I don't know.
I think that the one big block of navy across it would have been a bit too much. So
just from trying to balance it out.
If they needed to put something else around it to kind of make it work. Like I said, is it for any other team? It's weird photographing it on the bus as well. A bus isn't a sexy background. So for any other team, I'd say yes, but it's just not a Blue Bulls jersey for me.
If I were them, I would have made that blue, right to the top. Made the whole top half of the shirt that dark blue, and maybe the bottom a little bit different. But that hoop thing doesn't belong in a Bulls jersey. Anyway, my opinion. Let's start a ranking system, because most of the teams will start getting new jerseys out now. Let's give us a mark out of 10. And we're going to have a little table running, to see who's got the best jersey.
I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10, because it gains marks for, I will always give a kit supplier marks for trying something. I think a lot of kit manufacturers just phone it in and do something bland, and the kit is just the same every year. So I will always give a mark for that. Like I said, for any other team, I think it's a nice enough design. The design itself isn't what bothers me in and of itself. It's that it's in the context of being a Blue Bulls jersey.
Yeah, there's a Bulls DNA, and it's not there.
Yeah, so I say that that's what it loses it marks. So I think it just above passable is how I would grade it.
Yeah, just put that back on the screen again, please. I want to show you something.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, this is a Bulls man.
Wait.
I get emotional about the Bulls. It's just
okay.
I have to.
Okay.
You know what? Now we talked about the Rugby Championship logo the other day. Remember, it's so long and it's it doesn't fit in anywhere, whatever. And you always talk about spaces around logos and everything else. Now look at that Puma logo. How close it's to the top of the blue thing there. There's no spacing around it, neutral, whatever you want to call it. No one with it. It sort of looks squeezed in there.
Did Vodacom pay twice? Because they're on it twice. They're in the main bit here.
Oh yeah, they're right on top as well.
Up in the top opposite Isuzu, as we know we must call them. So, have they paid twice? Is what I want to know.
Well, if they have, I don't mind. That's another bugbear I've got is the Vodacom Bulls combined logo. I'm designing a logo myself in line with what the Stormers did with the DHL logo, which is a story for another day. But yeah, do you have the away shirt? I actually like the away shirt more than I do the home shirt.
It just so happens that I do. Now this is a bit more Blue Bulls for me.
Well, thankfully, firstly, it's not pink or camouflage for that matter. But this to me, I agree with you. This is more Bulls because we're used to the white. But still the line, I don't know, and that silver line just from nowhere over crisscrossing the Vodacom logo. I'm actually surprised Vodacom is allowing that, because normally the sponsors are quite, pedantic about their logo not being infringed, and you only have so close to the logo. You remember the European, the Autumn Nations Cup? They had so many rules and regulations around the logo. Spend more time getting the logo in the correct place than you did actually watching or editing the video. I like this more. So I'm going to give you my mark for the home shirt is 5, and this one I'll give a 6. That's it. I'm sorry, I am a Bulls supporter, but this to me is a disappointing jersey. I
think I'm going to give this one a 7. I think it is a nice jersey. I think there's a bit of an unwritten rule. I know I'm contradicting myself here, but there's a bit of an unwritten rule in jersey design that always play it safe with the home jersey and then go crazy with the away jersey. So I think if it was last season's home jersey with this away jersey, I think maybe this outsells last season's home jersey. I don't know. But there we are.
You know what I don't like about the away jersey? It's the fact that they wear white shorts of it. They look like ice cream lollipops. So you should wear navy shorts or something, just sort of a more traditional look. But anyway, that's just an old fogey like me. That's my point of view. The other team that launched the shirts today, actually, as a matter of fact, was the Stormers. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually like the Stormers' new look more than I do the Bulls.
Well, the Stormers have to keep themselves busy, don't they? Because we know they're not playing in the Curry Cup at the moment.
Harry says that as well.
Now, okay, cards on the table, everybody. Adidas are my favorite kit supplier, bar none. I like pretty much every kit that Adidas makes. And this is no exception. I like this quite a lot. Obviously, the DHL logo is the big thing, but I've just defended the Bulls logo, so I have to defend this. The one thing that I didn't immediately get was why that the Adidas stripes on the shoulders are red. But then someone explained it to me that the flower that is the Western Province logo is red, so it's an integration of that. And with all these things, if there's a story behind it, then I allow it, even if it looks a little bit odd. So because there's a story behind it, I allow it. They've got this very right for me. This is a nice rugby jersey. It screams Western Province. It screams rugby, and the spacing of the hoops. I love a hoop. Yeah, this is this from what I've seen on social media. This has gone down a storm with Stormers fans.
Ooh, no pun intended. Yeah, pardon the pun. I must be honest. I like the logo. The way it looks on the jersey is different to what it looks like, on social media. But I liked it on social media as well. Anyway, it just looks nice, fresh, and modern. From a Bulls perspective, to me, I'm biased, and I'll say it, but I like this jersey. Like you said, it screams Western Province. It screams Stormers. It just works. No, man. For me, this is like 8 out of 10 minimum.
Yeah. I'm probably going. What I'm looking forward to is the kind of like associated merch, like the retro jersey and the training tops and things, because there'll be something. I'm sorry, my Bulls supporting fan. I am going to purchase another Stormers jersey probably this season, because it's nice, and that's what I like to do. And anyway, I like both teams. What I will also say is that what you can't see in the picture is because it's Adidas, it will feel nice. It will be a quality item. Now, I'm not saying that Puma isn't, but other manufacturers, I can tell you, when you hold them in the hands, they feel like cheap pieces of rubbish. Adidas will feel nice. You'll enjoy wearing it. It will come in a nice package. It will make you feel special to wear. So that's the main thing. Shall we? We've been threatening to do this for a couple of weeks now. Should we talk about the logo, the Stormers logo?
Yeah, well, I just sort of gave you my five. The moment I saw it, I liked it. I told you before, I like a bit of design. So I like it.
We know that we have to be careful because we know that people from the Stormers are always listening, and they don't like it if you say mean things about them. You said you like it, but you're saying that under duress because you don't want to upset them again.
I'll be honest. I've said it right from the start. Even said it on Twitter. I like it. Yeah.
It looks better here now. I think in this particular setting, it's too big.
Maybe, yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
From what I read, there's just a lot going on with this logo. So it's the hoops of the Western Province jersey. It's also the outline of the Cape Town Stadium. It's also an S for Stormers, and it's also still got the lightning bolt in the middle.
Yeah, true.
For the Storm.
Yeah.
That's one or two too many things.
That logo does a lot of work there. You're right. Yeah.
There's a lot of things to doing. And also, I've got to say, the text at the bottom screams, no one's going to know what this is from the actual logo, so we better write Stormers underneath it. And they've just picked the most bog standard text to write it in. Just pick the most inoffensive text to write it under. It has nothing to do with the rest of the logo. So now when someone explained it to me, like I said with the shoulder stripes, if there's a story behind it, then I can buy into it. So I guess I can buy into it. It loses marks on this jersey for being too big, and I don't like the text.
No, I can see that. Well, we talked about that home jersey. Now I gave it 8 out of 10. You gave it?
Ooh. Yeah, probably 8.5 out of 10. I like to the point where I'm probably going to buy it. If they ship to the UK, I will buy it.
Yeah, I'm not shipping it to you. Make no mistake. But again, now we've talked about the home jersey. Again, the Stormers away jersey. You talked about being more adventurous in a away jersey. So Hello, 2015 Islanders, it looks like, don't you think?
I saw someone posted that. Look, like I say, you will always get a bonus point from me for trying something. And I've seen some people really like this one. It's a no from me.
No.
It's a no from me. It looks a bit like it looks like candy. I'm just not into it.
What's the story behind the pink stripes now? Tell me that on the shoulders.
I don't know. I don't know that. It's a bit much for me.
No, that doesn't
it's quite
work.
90s football. But the thing is, it'll be like, because it's so out there, it will be iconic.
Yeah, sure.
Because
it's like the pink boost shirts. People still wear them to this day.
Yeah, people will wear them and go, "Oh, he's got one of those jerseys." Like we've got for the Scarlets, we've got one. I can't remember whether I wore it on this show. It's like we call it the rhubarb and custard kit. It's yellow and then it kind of fades into red at the bottom, so it makes it look like you've had your legs shot off.
Okay.
It's an absolute eyesore, but it's iconic. So, sometimes eyesores are iconic.
Did you notice the patterns on there? It looks like the All Blacks jerseys for 2023.
It looks like a zebra jersey, honestly. If you took the logos off and said, "What team is this?" I'd say zebra.
Oh, yeah. That's actually true. Yeah, good point. The color, the green just doesn't work for me. If they made it blue or light blue or something like that, it would have worked better. But this green thing doesn't work for me. And the pink shirt, I mean, the Adidas stripes on the shoulders are pink and the logo is black. Where on the home jersey, both the logo and the stripes on the shoulders are red. So that seems to be a bit of a disconnect, I think.
Yeah. When I have spoken to someone who's worked in pro sports for a long time and jersey design is something that they've been involved in, and they said that the crazier jerseys tend to be the ones that sell.
Yeah, because it stands out. It's different. I get that. Oh well. Anyway, I'll give it 5. It doesn't work for me.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna give it. It would be a 4, but it gets 2 bonus points. One for being adventurous and one for the fact that I know that it will age very well.
And no points for it being Adidas.
Oh yeah. All right. No, but I'm not giving it more than a 6. It's not getting more
That's
than
just
a 6.
blatant bias. I mean, really. That's a bad design, I think. Anyway, that was fun. Let's move on. Otherwise, we're going to spend all night talking about jerseys. Whenever the new jerseys come out, we're going to keep doing this because I like this kind of thing. It's very interesting. Transfers, and this week, a lot of rumors about coaches. Warren Gatland is supposedly on the way to Japan, and they're not. Some random candidate, we know him very well, but we never expected that. Talk to me about that one.
It was reported that Warren Gatland was going to be joining the Usuru, I think, D-Rocks in Japan League One, who were not good in the last couple of seasons. I think they survived the relegation playoff in Japan by like 1 point or something, very, very narrowly. So it was reported he was going there, and that was supposed to be official. It wasn't officially official, clearly, because now we know who the officially official person is, and it is former Munster URC winning head coach Graham Roundtree has been appointed as the head coach of the D-Rocks in Japan. So there you have it. No, didn't expect that. God knows what Warren Gatland is going to be doing now.
Well, just on D-Rocks, remember, or D-Rocks, Johan Ackerman was their head coach, and he did quite well there. And then he was moved to a consultant role, and Greg Laidlaw was appointed the head coach. And one of the reasons why Johan left there. Now, Greg Laidlaw has been demoted to some sort of honorary role, and Graham Roundtree has been brought into the thing. So that's quite a storied team. That. So other news is the England coach is set up having a possible shake-up again.
Yeah, so this is interesting. So look, if England have no haters, I am dead. So take everything I'm about to say with a pinch of salt. So over the summer, because Richard Wigglesworth, who was the England attack coach, was away with the Lions, they brought in to cover for him Lee Blackett, who was Bath's attack coach and assistant to Johan van Graan, because we always have to get this South African connection in there.
Yes.
So he was an assistant to Johan van Graan. Lee Blackett is a coach with much pedigree. He was helping the Scarlets for a time when we got to a Challenge Cup semi-final. Went on a great run. He's previously worked for Wasps and things. A very, very well-renowned coach. Very popular in the UK. Steve Borthwick, the England head coach, brought him in to the England fold to cover for Richard Wigglesworth. And they won back-to-back tests away to Argentina, which, as people have recently found out, is no mean feat. And apparently, Steve Borthwick was extremely impressed and decided he wanted to give him the job permanently.
Oh. So what about Richard Wigglesworth now?
So this is the interesting part. If you listen to some England fans on social media, some of whom are on YouTube, they've been on a mission on the last few months to convince us that Richard Wigglesworth is an attack coach genius, and he's reinventing rugby attack as we know it. And as I saw one person post, which shall remain nameless, he's going to make international defenses obsolete. And he's doing that job so well that they've decided to replace him. Like, okay, it was always just fanboyism about England's attack. So the story of how Richard Wigglesworth got the England job in the first place is that Steve Borthwick, when he got promoted from Leicester Tigers to England, brought with him his entire assistant coaching ticket. And that cost the RFU something like £1 million, paying out Leicester Tigers to get all of their coaches off them. That's how Michael Cheika got into that job. And this is something that we see head coaches going from club level to international level doing quite a lot. This is what Wayne Pivac did with Wales. When he went from Scarlets to Wales, he brought the entire Scarlets coaching ticket. When Scott Robertson went from the Crusaders to the All Blacks, he brought pretty much the entire Crusaders coaching ticket with him. And we often see that that doesn't really work. We often see that that's quite a lot of turmoil, and you will see a reasonably high turnover of assistant coaches in the meantime. Now, the context to that in an England case is that the turnover of assistant coaches in England at the international level is very high anyway. Eddie Jones was renowned for churning through one or two assistant coaches every campaign and having to replace them because they'd leave. We obviously, I think we might have spoken about it on this pod about how Jerry Flannelly left to go back to the Springboks, left England. And
not Jerry Flannelly, Felix Jones.
Oh, sorry, yes, Felix Jones, apologies. And they replaced Felix Jones with this guy called Joe, who was, the story was, he was just Steve Borthwick's mate, and they brought him in. England's defence has not been great. For all the people who will tell you that the super aggressive blitz that they're adopting is genius, number one, it was just a poor knockoff of South Africa's defence. And number two, it wasn't genius because they kept conceding tries like it was going out of fashion. They should be sponsored by DHL, like the Stormers, because they're the shipping experts. They ship tries for fun. So they've changed it up. Sorry, man, I'm struggling.
No, take a sip of water. Just relax. We don't have to rush this. There's enough time.
No, I had a cold over the weekend, so I'm still recovering from that.
Oh, yeah, my wife as well.
So the story is that Richard Wigglesworth is now going to step away from attack coach and become defense coach. The story behind that is Richard Wigglesworth has got ambitions of becoming a head coach, and so he wants to experience all of the roles of coaching.
She's transferring that attack genius to defense genius, so he can be the more complete genius.
Exactly, but I would argue that if he was the world's greatest attack coach, maybe England would not let him move roles, and they would not maybe bring in a guy to replace him. So basically what's happened is Steve Borthwick lost his coaches to go and coach the Lions. He brought in some cover who he didn't know before and went, oh, hey, these are way better than the other guys I was using, so I'm going to employ them. So what that's probably going to mean is that England are going to have to pay Bath a huge sum of money to get Lee Blackett's release. And for what it's worth, I think it's a good appointment. I think Lee Blackett is a very good coach, and I think he will make England better. And clearly, as I said, England's defence isn't all that great, so maybe Richard Wigglesworth will improve that as well. So I do think that England are going to benefit from these decisions, but it does bust a couple of narratives. Number one, that Richard Wigglesworth is the world's greatest attacking coach. And number two, that England's defence is genius, where it's not, because both their attacking coach and defensive coach are now changing. So there you go.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about South Africa's coaches just now. Player rumours, we saw Ruben van Heerden is going to go to Montpellier at the end of the URC. The Bulls signed Steve Setole from the Stormers, also a bit of a nomad. And then Ollie Kebble going back to the Stormers. He was at Glasgow Warriors, I think, and then went to Ajax briefly, and now he's back at the Stormers. You know Ollie? Tell me about him.
I know that he's a capped Scotland international. And like you said, a long time at Glasgow Warriors. Went to Ajax I think he went to them when they got relegated. They were in the top 14 at the time of him signing. And then by the time he joins, they'd been relegated back to the Pro D2. So that's where he's been playing. Now he's going back to the Stormers. I guess a bit of a homecoming. The Stormers just on this recruitment drive, aren't they?
Yeah, for props, looks like.
Yeah, so...
What is he, tight head or loose head?
I think he's a loose head.
Because they've got Wilco now for 4 years after this next season. Jeez, man. Who can the Bulls buy, by the way, do you think? Who's available to replace?
In what position? We did a whole episode about this, Enver.
In tight head, but I mean, it keeps me up at night. I mean, I said we must go buy Thomas, and Boan Venter is unfortunate. That's how big he was. He's a loose head. What are we going to do?
Thomas is probably the obvious one, isn't he? Does he have to be South African?
Probably not, but I suppose, the Bulls are not known for playing overseas players. Charlie Ewell's played here for a little bit, but that was
I was going to say you could sign Asenati, but maybe not.
Well, that was my leading candidate. I don't know if he's going to be playing rugby all that often in the next 4 years, if you ask me. What's the story there, do you think, as a matter of interest?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to comment too much because the form that the Springboks put out said that it was a medically prescribed drug and that he's been taking it within doctor's guidelines. So I guess we have to believe him until he's innocent until proven guilty. So
I've spoken to some rugby players and they said to me, that's all fair and well. The point is you use a system that's not allowed, a substance that's not allowed, and that's it. Whether you did it knowingly, unknowingly, the point is that you had a drug in your system that you were not supposed to have. So the fact that you were prescribed it or whatever, not necessarily an excuse. I'm not an expert. I'm just saying, sort of, put some feelers out. That's what I've been hearing. I think he's in trouble. We'll see. All right.
It'd be sad, wouldn't it? I've got one more rumour for you.
Yes, please.
Newcastle Red Bulls, the northern wing of the Pretoria Blue Bulls.
The inferior wing, the junior wing. Yeah.
They've been linked to, they've already been spending money on players and they've been linked to spending money on coaches. And one of the names that they've been linked to is current Scotland head coach, Gregor Townsend.
Oh.
Now, why is that interesting to you?
I know why.
People?
I know why. Because that opens the door for Franco.
It opens the door for Franco. A lot of people feel that Gregor Townsend, or Toonie, as he's effectively known, we've probably already passed the time when he should have moved on from Scotland. And Franco Smith is the leading candidate, being the Glasgow Warriors head coach, to take over that role. Franco Smith, we know, wants a test level job. So if Toonie were to move on to a nice big fat paycheck for Newcastle, probably wouldn't even have to move house, because Newcastle's very close to Scotland, for people who don't know UK geography.
Oh, I don't know that. Yeah.
Then that would open the door to Franco. Now, we know he's not going to the Bulls anyway, because the Bulls chose somebody else. But it means he's not coming to South Africa in any form anytime soon, because he might go to Scotland. That's the rumor is about Gregor Townsend, and so that's me putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5. But, that's what we're here to do.
Rugby with Huw Griffin